Morning guys, it's quite a beautiful, clean, crisp morning here this morning in the nation's capital, and in these uncertain times where there's a lot of news about self-isolation and a certain pandemic that's sweeping the globe, I thought it might be a good opportunity to come out and self-isolate a little bit outdoors. As you can see, there's sort of no one around me, so the social distancing bit's quite easy in a place like this, and I'm currently at the National Arboretum in Canberra. It's one of my favourite playgrounds for photography at the moment. There's some beautiful sweeping landscapes all over this little park here in Canberra. It really is a landscape photographer's delight. So the little spot I've come to here this morning at the Arboretum is just in a small valley near the entrance of the park. And the reason I've come here this morning is there's some beautiful fog drifting out across this valley and across Black Mountain, which is in the background. The horizon off to the east is reasonably clear, so hopefully I might get a bit of beautiful pink and orange tones in some of the high level clouds that are in the back of the scene I'm shooting. But predominantly it's the fog that I'm really interested in. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, probably not because the mic might not pick it up, but it sounds like we're about to have some hot air balloons launch here, and fingers crossed they might drift across into my scene as I shoot it, so that'll be quite a little bonus if they do that. Now, the composition I've chosen here this morning is a fairly simple one. I've got all these beautiful little pine trees all in the foreground, and they kind of lead down into the valley just in front of me here. And then I've got various mountains in the background here, or hills in the background, that are all silhouetted against the rising sun, and that's where the fog's all passing through. So I'm getting some quite dramatic light passing through those hills and through that fog in the background. Another point of interest in the image is Black Mountain Tower, which I've framed to the upper left third of the image. I'm also getting some really nice colour in those clouds now as the sun's starting to rise off in the east. At the moment I'm just shooting a series of bracketed images with exposure times running anywhere between sort of 2 seconds right up to about 10 seconds. As the sun gets a little bit stronger on this image, I probably won't need to bracket to retain all the highlights and shadow in the image, but I'll see how I go and judge that as I shoot. I'm also using two graduated neutral density filters on the front of the lens. This is just because the scene, I have quite deep shadows in the foreground, and then the sky's quite bright. There's not a lot of cloud cover up high, so I'm using the graduated filters just to balance the light and shadow in the frame. The fog's actually getting thicker and thicker as I'm talking now, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens, and hopefully that fog will hang around until the sun's risen, and I'll get some really beautiful golden side light on all these trees and the mountains in the background, and then the fog adding a little extra dynamic element to the foreground of the image. So as you can probably see behind me here, I've been shooting for a little while, and the fog's kind of really set into this little valley and blocked all views of Black Mountain and the mountains in the background. I got a few shots earlier on when I was here. The fog wasn't quite as thick, but I'm not holding much hope that this fog's going to break up anytime soon, and I'll get some really beautiful golden light on the sides of these trees and the mountains in the background. I'll shoot for a little bit longer, I think, and then pack up the gear and head home. So from the National Arboretum here in Canberra, have a great day, stay safe everyone. Troublesome times at the moment, but I hope you're all looking after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon. Cheers.